My name's Miss Rainey and I'm the Primary 7 teacher at Alloway Primary.
Yep, and my name's Mrs Stone and I'm the principal teacher at Kindcaidston Primary. And we've been coming to Inverclyde now for quite a few years, and because Alloway and Kindcaidston are both part of the same cluster, our head teachers had thought it would be useful if the children came for their residentials at the same time to try and encourage a smoother transition up to secondary. And I think this year's probably been one of the most successful years that we've had thus far. I think the biggest thing for us is them kind of overcoming challenges. You know, the thought of leaving home for anybody can be quite overwhelming at times, but for our kids it's developing that resilience and kind of facing their fears and pushing themselves outside their comfort zone. And it's been really beneficial to see children who are sometimes more withdrawn or not as confident really sort of take huge steps forwards with that, that will help prepare them for kind of secondary coming up in August. So that's been like the best thing for us to see.
Yeah, I think actually normally we have a few different transition events throughout the year, but because of COVID they haven't really happened. So it's been so good for them to have an opportunity to mix with other children from different backgrounds, different schools that they've never met before, and they've got on so well, so much better than we could have imagined, which has been so lovely to see. So it's been really good for them to have mixed communal areas. I think having the dining hall set up in the way it has been the first night, they sort of went towards their own skills and their own friendship groups, and then by the second night they were mixing with each other, they were starting to recognise each other and shout each other over, which has been lovely. They've had mixed floors as well, so I think that's been carefully thought out in the way that we've had mixed floors with Alloway one side, Kindcaidston another, so they still had their own space but could go along and chat to each other and make friends away from the teachers, away from our eyes. At evening times we've had mixed events going to Nardini's, and we've had our disco, which was a real success last night. They were all dancing together and singing together, which has been really nice to see. Out with the opportunities for them to mix with each other, we found as well that having a timetable for them to follow and having that visible for them and set in advance has been really good, because that's something they're going to have at secondary school, and you see them going up and thinking, right, where am I going next and where will my friends be, and having different faces all day every day's been great for them too. They're used to seeing us for many hours a day, and then having to go and respond to coaches that have different approaches and different ways of interacting with them has been really beneficial for them.
Absolutely, I think kind of like managing their own time as well. Some of them better than others, obviously, but that's been really nice to see as well, you know, and kind of how they're organising their things and keeping track of their things, and just getting them to think that a wee bit more in advance, which will definitely prepare them for August. Yeah, I mean, I think obviously the disco was a great one. There's just lovely moments where you saw them all jumping up and down, their arms around each other, you know, singing together, and it's just really nice to see. It's just kids being kids, having fun with it. It didn't matter what school they were from as well, so that was really nice. I also really liked the fact that we had thought about mixing them up at dinner last night, and the first 5 minutes you could see the panic in their faces, and then actually once you started walking around you could see them thinking, no, this is actually okay, we can do this. And they started introducing themselves and asking each other questions, and that's a huge thing for some of our children that would never ever have done that before. And a couple of them that were kind of looking over, kind of almost expecting us to come over and save them, and then by the end of the night they're best pals.
I think a highlight for me as well has been the fact that there's been such a range of activities for the children. The past 2 years they haven't had the opportunity to do things like mountain biking or double raft canoeing, and they've just had an absolute ball. I think getting to Castle Central, we went yesterday, and for them to be able to have that whole day outdoors, it's not something that they get to experience very much, and actually in the past 2 years they haven't experienced that at all, so I know that's been on top of the list for the children too.